and welcome to our Inspiring Women in Raw Materials online talk series. Before we start, just mention that we are going to record this talk. So please, if you don't feel comfortable about it, just turn off your camera and that's totally fine. Well, my name is Aina Orell and I'm one of the organizers of these online talks. And today is actually already our 6th talk. And it's such a pleasure to have here with us Petya Atanasova. So, that being said, today's agenda looks as follows, as you can see on the screen. The coming hour, I will briefly introduce you the EIT Raw Materials Alumni and the EIT Women. Then Petya Atanasova will be sharing her career journey so far with us. Then, of course, we will have time for questions. Please just type those on the chat while she's speaking, or wait for the Q&A session and open the mic and go for your question. That's totally fine, of course. And we will grab this talk at the end. So let's get started. As you might know, I guess that you are familiar with the EIT. The EIT stands for the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. The EIT is an EU body that wants to strengthen Europe's ability to innovate and actually is the largest innovation community within Europe. The EIT is divided by communities ranging from food, digital, urban mobility, and of course raw materials. These are the so-called KICs, which stand for Knowledge, Innovation and Communities. And these KICs at the same time are divided by sub-KICs, like it's the case of the EIT Raw Materials Alumni. Within the EIT, we also got cross-KICs communities, which is the case this time for the EIT Women, which is a community that wants to promote women leadership and entrepreneurship across all the KICs. Well, this online talk series has been organized by the support of both the EIT Women and the EIT Raw Materials Alumni in order to present you female role models within the raw material sector. So that being said, today's speaker, she's Petya Atanasova again. So yeah, she's from Bulgaria. She holds a master's and PhD in economic geology. And since 2017, she's managing ERZLABOR Advanced Solutions. I hope I'm saying it correctly. If not, just correct me, which is actually a spin-off for analytical solution for destructive industry. Who better than herself to really explain us what they are working with and where they are these days. So that was all from my side. And I am now pleasure to hand over to Petya. So whenever you are ready, the floor is yours, Petya.
Thanks, Aina. Thank you very much. Will it be possible to share my screen?
Yeah, let me stop mine, and I guess you should be able to do so.
So it's visible, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much for the invitation and also for the nice introduction. Also for explaining me what also beforehand what EIT Women means and the this series. It's very nice initiative. It's almost a year ago. It was at the beginning of the pandemic, and I was having dinner at home with my partner and with his 18-year-old son who lives with us. And yeah, we were all, of course, relaxed because it was the beginning of the pandemic, and I personally enjoyed very much this slowing down and not running around on business trips every week. And we were having a chat, and the 18-year-old son of my partner, he was also having homeschooling and was watching YouTube videos all day and was absolutely excited that he has watched a video from a German channel, which was explaining basically that all your success in life is based on luck. So it's not your talent, it's not your hard work or intelligence that helps you achieve success, but it's a lucky occasion, basically. And there we are. So I was absolutely amazed, of course, and wanted to learn more about this and started researching. And it's this YouTube video was based on a study performed at the University of Catania, and two mathematicians and an economist were researching the topic by modeling it. So they built a mathematical model and started to play with different parameters. Exactly what I just said before, how important is talent, hard work, intelligence, or is it more so-called randomness, how they call it in mathematics, which is basically lucky events that brings you success in life. So of course, everybody, probably you, also me, we, of course, are absolutely certain that it's all hard work and nothing else. That's it. So I, of course, started to question a bit my career, not career, but let's say the circumstances, and to look back in life. And just to give you a first example, if we look at today's evening, it is quite clear to me that to be here today and to talk to you, it's luck. Why? Because one is certain, it's not based on my great talent to be a gifted presenter. So I'm not a great speaker, and this is for sure not the reason why I'm here today. I know for certain that it was Antonis Politis who first provided my name to the organizers of the event. Now Antonis is a business developer of EIT Raw Materials, and he is the coach of ERZLABOR Advanced Solutions in the acceleration program of EIT Raw Materials. And yes, Antonis knows that for me it is a challenge to give presentations, that it's yeah, I need to, so to say, every time jump over my own shadow. And he does it basically on purpose, so that he knows that only by accepting challenges you can grow. And on the second place, I was also thinking, okay, good. So Antonis provided my name to the organizers, but I could have said no to Aina. So Aina wrote to me an email exactly 6 weeks ago. It was Thursday, just as today. And as I received the email, there was a sentence in there which said, "We would be so happy if you would consider being part of our next talk, if it sounds interesting to you. Now, how should you answer no to such a question? Of course, it sounds interesting to me. And that's what makes it luck for me. So it's to be given a chance in life and to be able to realize that it is a chance and to be able to take it. No matter how difficult it is, no matter how much work you will need to put in, because it's clear that even the best speakers, they prepare their talks. So it is time and effort you put in every single talk. So it's the luck in life would mean to me that it really is the ability and the willingness to be ready to learn and to develop new skills. So I was, of course, starting to think about this all lucky stuff. I started to reflect a bit my life and to look for moments which were key moments in my life. And it's not easy to identify them, because it's not like in a lottery where you just win the millions at a certain moment and then you can say, okay, now from now on, I'm spending the millions and changing a lot in my life. And in a career, it's basically probably any occasion. But thinking back, I really could identify, or I think it is a moment which is kind of a key moment for me. So it was 10 years ago, almost. It was early December in 2010. And it was the icebreaker party of the Freiberg short course in economic geology. And during this icebreaker event, I was asked by my main MSc supervisor if I can imagine to be part of a small student team which will prepare a report on the availability of rare earth elements and lithium. It is a report which will be prepared for two big German corporations which are interested to secure their demand. And the team will be an international, interdisciplinary team. It won't be just geologists. I would be the only geologist in the team. And he, in the same talk, he explained to me that he has already asked a classmate of mine, and this classmate refused to do this job because he would like to finish his master's as soon as only possible. So he cannot spend time on doing this. So I was thinking right there at this moment, it applies to me the same way. I mean, I would like to finish my master's as soon as only possible and start to work. Of course, it's very clear. And I was worried, of course, how damaging such a decision would be for me to delay my master, to delay my graduation in my career. And now, 10 years later, I can say it was a very hard time. So really, I spent, from the beginning, I said yes. How it will be to work on a completely new topic. So not work with rocks, but really try to use a very a holistic approach to evaluate all deposits, and to do this together with economists and people working on risk management and so on, and really identify the best of those deposits for these big corporations on the one hand side, and on the other hand side, it was given to us the opportunity to travel to Canada and to travel to Toronto as a team, and to attend the biggest mining convention, which is the PDAC, so the Prospectors and Developers Association of Canada convention. It's always in March every year. This was, of course, amazing. It was amazing time. It was hard work, but it was super. It was just simply wonderful to share, to be part of this team and to have this experience. But what does it mean to me now, 10 years later? It means that it was luck to be asked to take this opportunity. It brought me, just after we finished the report, I received an offer to start to be employed by the Helmholtz Institute here in Freiburg. Why is it so special? Because it was not just a job offer, so it was not negative at all for my career. In addition, it gave me the opportunity to start from the beginning with the Helmholtz Institute. So the Helmholtz Institute was founded in August 2011, and I started work for the Helmholtz Institute in March 2012, so 6 months later. And I was given the opportunity to really build this institution together with a very small team. We were 6, and we were then continuously growing. So at the beginning, it was really just amazing that, I don't know, I was allowed to go to meetings with big industry, to go to meetings with politicians, to attend events, which was super important for the development of the institute in Canada, for example, to go on several business trips all over the world. So all these opportunities were unbelievable, or still are to me. In addition, this first visit at the PDAC in Toronto and talking to so many companies working on rare earth deposits provided me with an amazing network of companies which provided access for my PhD to collect samples, so that I really could visit a lot of those deposits and could work on some of them in a scientific way, and get my PhD on this topic. And some other things are like, of course, I met friends for life at this time, and I met my partner. So I met the love of my life during this time, and so I'm now having a family. But there were a lot more important things for me personally, which I can take from this time. And these are, I call them big learnings. And some of those big learnings I have put on a couple of slides. So one of it, it's for me, the importance of being part of a strong team and to work interdisciplinary. So to be complementary to other people, or to have people which complement you, for me, it's pure strength. you cannot be stronger than this in my personal, this is my personal feeling. And in addition, the ability to learn other languages, to learn the language of people who has studied economics, or to learn the language of people who has studied minerals processing. It's a super important and enriching experience. It's also very strong to have a common goal, which you all together aim and try to achieve. And at this time, I as well learned, because it was very intensive, that in a team, you can really only be productive or how you say, I don't know, be successful when you are able to communicate very effectively, to communicate even on a daily basis, and to support the others, to receive support and to provide support to others. And that in every team, still, even if you're all more or less on the same level, you need a clear organization and also somebody who will automatically take kind of the lead. So leadership, even within the team, will be very important. And last but not least, at this time, I really learned that working in a team, it's fun. And if it's not fun, it's not good. It's not the right team. So another big learning from this time is the point with the leadership. So I was very, very lucky to be able to meet people and to work together with people, which showed us that flat hierarchy and working together is what defines leadership. So a leader is not somebody who just gives you a job and leaves you alone. It will be somebody who will try to do this together with you, to motivate you, who is super hardworking, who is trustworthy, somebody who is not creating problems, but always solving problems. So this problem-solving approach is something that really inspires me still every day. So it's one of the most important things which play a big role in my life still, to try to always solve problems, not create them. And last but not least, at this point of time, I learned that it's super important in life to meet or to identify mentors and role models. Why? And what's the difference? So basically, there is a difference between mentors and role models in the relationship you're having to those persons. So in mentoring, you have somebody which you steadily exchange experience with. However, in both cases, they have quite common. They have similarities, mentors and role models. And for me, the similarity is that even if somebody next to you is not mentoring you, but gives you a new perspective in your career, so that you can see completely different ways to go. So just to give you an example, before I started this job, my career dream was to work in an underground mine and to be the mining geologist of this mine. And by seeing so many people doing completely different things, which were invisible until this moment to me, and by being guided and I don't know how to best put it, but you have basically somebody who shows you that there are different paths you can take. It was also something that Aina mentioned just before we started today, that showing that there is not this just one way in life. It's quite important. Why is it so important? Because funny enough, it was basically this mentoring experience, which gave me it basically brought to me ERZLABOR. So it was my mentors and role models from this time back in 2011 and 12, which showed me that there is a different way to grow, which is the right one for me, and it would be ERZLABOR. And so I will spend also a couple of minutes on ERZLABOR. ERZLABOR is a spin-off from the Helmholtz Institute in Freiberg. And the Helmholtz Institute is a research institute for resource technologies. And ERZLABOR is a service provider to the raw materials sector. So we basically characterize any type of material in means of visualization. And we describe materials such as ores or beneficiated materials or metallurgical products or recycling materials. And our business model is based on an low invest approach. So we rent equipment from the Helmholtz Center, from the Helmholtz Institute Freiberg, and make it accessible to the industry. We work along the value chain, and just to give you an example, on the very first picture, this is a rock from the Witwatersrand in South Africa, and there is gold in there. The gold is not visible to you, so it's not the golden part of the rock which you could still identify with your naked eye. The gold would be in between these golden parts, and as it is indicated on the second picture. And when you like to get this gold out of the rock, you need to exactly know how it is, how it looks like and how it is associated within the rock, so that you exactly know which approach would be the best to get the gold out of the rock with the minimum losses possible. And that's exactly the value basically for our customers. So who are our customers? These are mainly original equipment manufacturers, which are interested in providing the best possible plant and to sell this best possible plant. So what does it mean, the best possible plant? So it's every process should demonstrate the highest recovery, the highest efficiency, the lowest losses, and so on and so forth. So this is their main goal, and the visualization of the raw material is what we provide to them. Of course, paired with quantitative parameters. Now, the team of ERZLABOR, we are mainly people coming from the Helmholtz Institute in Freiberg. We all still or have been associated with the institute, and we all have scientific background. So in this scientific background is what motivates us also to stay in a connection with the Helmholtz Institute, because we see it as a clear benefit to be close to innovation and to be able to innovate for our customers. Now, why don't we do it? It's similar in science and in you for sure don't do it for the money. because from the beginning you invest a lot. So invest much more time than you will ever get paid back. And it's not, you never start a startup to work from 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, because this is just not realistic. There could be short days, but there could be also extremely long days. And we are, of course, not doing it to have a regular holidays and so on and so forth. So there are very big similarities between doing science and creating a new business. But there is also the rewarding part of it. And the rewarding part is that you can be sure that you will never get bored in your life. So every day there will be a new challenge and new customer with completely new question or idea to be confronted with, and that this curiosity and passion to solve challenges or to accept challenges. This is basically, for me personally, what makes it so rewarding to have a startup. And I think that this is also what helps us most to satisfy our customers. It's our steady curiosity and passion, whatever they would like to find out. And this would be the end of my talk. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you so much, Petya, for your nice presentation. I think we all got inspired by your words. It was so nice with those nice quotes as well. So yeah, if that's okay with you, I will share my screen again.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Should I stop sharing?
Yes, please. I think.
Okay. I thought you could do. Okay. So, thanks.
You are welcome. Okay. So yes, as I said in the beginning, we got time for questions. You can just write those on the chat if you want, if you are a bit shy, or if not, just open your mic and go for your question. Well, as I supposed, because it's something that always happens, that we got shy audience, I'll be the one asking the first question. When I was like looking at your background, reading about your spin-off and so on and so forth, I was wondering, like, you know, when you were moving from academia, more research environment, to more business related, like, yeah, at the end, just trying to make a business out of your research. What was the main skill? I guess that it was more than one, but what was the main skill that you were missing at that point, you know, when you were trying to switch from more research to a more business world?
What was the main skill I missed?
Yeah, or if you want to mention more than one, that I could, you know, that one that you thought, oh, I wish I could have it, or know
yes.
about wherever.
I still wish I could have a master's degree in an MBA. I still wish. And because learning by doing, it's, yeah, it takes a lot of time. I can imagine that doing a degree also takes a lot of time, of course. But it's, of course, easier if you can focus on one thing and just complete it. And then you are equipped with the required knowledge. I think it's it's helpful when you start a business to have an economist on site. We don't have.
You manage, so that's what matters at the end.
Yeah, in small steps we're doing it. Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess that there are more.
Oh, this goes to her.
So yeah, just
So mean.
yeah. I think I don't know why I'm not able to see your name, but the one that is raising her hand is over.
So would you recommend young students to do some courses in economics?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do my best.
What are you studying?
Actually, economic geology in Freiburg.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I was also doing my master's in Freiburg, and we had only one course in economics. It was on the evaluation of ore deposits. I think this course is skipped now. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, to a geologist, it sounds really hard, but I think you can always need some economics in life. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
From the other side of the age, so not a student anymore, unfortunately. I started the other way around, so going first into the more commercial and business analysis data, and now luck, or I would not say necessarily talent, has brought me in a position of managing raw materials in a corporation. And the main challenge that I'm having now is to find the proper technical knowledge. So at the moment, for sure, I would not have the time to enter. I thought about it, assessed the idea to enter a master's or something like this for the technical knowledge of the raw materials. Would you have something in mind for this part? Something like on the side, not specifically master degree or something like this for the technical side.
What particularly do you need? I mean, is it more knowledge on raw materials, on a specific raw material, probably?
Well, yes, non-ferrous in particular. Okay. I'm not sure if that is the case, but yeah, started with the other side, and now I'm really missing in the environment and everything which is happening, the technical knowledge here.
Are you working for a small entity, or is it a big one? Because in big entities, you normally would have a lot of technical people.
It's a big one, but I cannot find anybody who really knows it. So I guess it was not really explored. So that's my challenge now, to go into that and do something about it. So that's why I started following the EIT Raw Materials, trying to subscribe to anything that I can get some data for. Only if you have some ideas. It was just my thought.
Not in particular. I mean, sure, one can always try to find a book, even an ebook. So there are certain ebooks which one can read, but other than that, I don't know. Sometimes the EIT Raw Materials or the regional centers, they offer short courses, so small courses, for example, on beneficiation or on some type of calculations, or but I'm not too familiar with. I just know that there is a program supported by EIT Raw Materials for professionals to get additional knowledge in certain areas, like technical knowledge for economists and the other way around. And I know that the different co-location centers, and like it's the case in Freiberg, we have here the so-called regional center Freiberg, and I also know that in Leoben they also offer courses, but I'm not sure how. I know they're advertised via LinkedIn and maybe somewhere also on the home pages, but
sorry. If I'm not mistaken, I think those courses are on the EIT Raw Materials website. I think
okay.
there is a list of all the courses and all the activities that are going on. So yeah, I think
Okay, thank you.
You could find the EIT related courses.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So yeah, is there any other question? Don't be shy, please.
Maybe somebody is willing also to share experience on luck.
Yeah.
Well,
Hi.
actually,
Okay.
oh,
No, Christine, you can go. I can.
We have time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that I got the topic of my master thesis also on a Freiberg short course. The last one, which did happen before Corona, and I'm super happy with the topic. And just if you have a chance, go to a Freiberg short course as they take place.
So you are doing your master's now on iron ore deposits?
I
Okay,
do.
cool.
Kiruna in South Africa.
Ah, very nice.
Okay, so near Kiruna here, but thank you very much for the presentation. I really enjoyed, especially this thinking about this luck. I think I will longly think even in the next days about if it is luck or talent. This is kind of something to think. I had more like a question regarding like the area of studies or area of science that you are doing. So what are the biggest challenges nowadays in that area? It's always going into the sustainability thing, or there are also other kind of challenges that you are facing?
So the original idea to create ERZLABOR is kind of based on the fact that so people were of course quite successful in exploring ore deposits all over the world during the last hundreds of years, basically on almost every continent. And so we face now continuously the challenge that the materials are getting more complex. So not only that we try to go towards circular economy and try to remine, for example, tailings, or to recycle super complex materials where, for example, you have smaller amounts of elements in there compared to nature. But even the natural resources are getting complexer in terms also of grain size. So what we directly face as a challenge, even with the technology we are using, which is an electron microscope, which is really looking on a micrometer scale, a lot of raw materials, also in particular for the such as industrial minerals, they are super fine. So you have even in our case, in the case of characterization, materials are not easy at all. So it always will be any challenge. So you will never, or very rare, receive a material that is super easy and the question is a very simple question to answer. It's getting more complex, and it's getting fine-grained, so that and what we also have is a challenge for the last couple of years is a so-called metal deportment. So people start to mine deposits which are quite complex, such as, for example, so-called skarn deposits, where, for example, tin will be distributed at so many different minerals that pure chemical analysis won't help you to extract the main tin-bearing mineral, for example. So these are the very specific technical challenges which we face. Of course, it's quite interesting to work on it, and it's also super interesting to work on the characterization of battery materials, which means to characterize the material in spent batteries. It's also something that we do, and we do it very with, I don't know, it's super exciting, but it's also so difficult. You can spend weeks on the proper description of such type of material. It's super fine-grained. It's everything in there. And then you try to recycle it. It's just crazy.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Sure.
That's so cool. Actually, this question reminds me that I read on your website that you are, beside working with ore deposit, you are always working with mobile phones. Like, I am correct? Okay, so I was thinking if you are using exactly the same technology and all the same equipment, or is there something different that you are adapting to working with mobile phone, or it's exactly the same?
It is more. It is more or less the same approach. The way we treat the material before the analysis, so the natural material will be quite simple to be put with a little bit of a resin in small blocks, and these blocks you analyze under the microscope. But with metals, so with alloys, it's always a bit of a challenge to cut it, to polish it, and so on. So this is the challenging part, is more on the sample preparation side. The analysis itself, it's quite straightforward. So there we do not need to change much on the method. What really changes for us is the knowledge you need to work on the results. Because in most cases with mobile phones or different other alloys, also for the steel industry, yeah, we are not specialists in. It's the same with batteries. We are getting better, but it's super new, and it's also very exciting.
Yeah, and it's so cool that you can just spread your, let's say, impact is not only within ore deposits, so you can go into other industries and so on. So that's so cool.
Yes, it's amazing that the technique it's widely applicable. Yeah, that's very nice. It's true.
Is there any other question? well, which it's more or less 7. So yeah. If that is fine, we can wrap up this talk. Yeah, I would like again to thank you so much, Petya, for taking the time today to be here. We much appreciate it, and we think we all really enjoy it. It was super inspiring. I would like to point out that this wouldn't have been possible with all the work done together with my colleagues, Ilda, Priya, and Carolina. So thank you so much, girls. And we really want to thank you, the EIT Women and the EIT Raw Materials alumni teams, to help us and support us over the last month to make this online talk series possible, to make it happen. So yeah, and yeah, we are preparing one talk per month approximately. So there will be more talks coming up next month. So we really hope to see you all next month on our next talks. So please stay tuned and hope you have a great evening.